Hi everybody, it's Carla from Casey Creates. I'm trying my hand at some salt dough here. I started the video and realized the lighting was so bad I should probably start over, so I'm all the way to the point where I'm putting water in. So let me just recap what I've done so far. I used 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of just really cheap table salt, and let's say the flour was all-purpose flour, but really cheap flour I bought from the Dollar Tree. And then I added a whole container of ground cinnamon to make the dough brown and to give it a good scent. So in one of my videos last year I did those, I forgot what you call them, but they were the cinnamon dough that you make with applesauce. And I'm just doing it this time with the salt dough. Now, it says to use 1 cup of warm water, but once I added the cinnamon, I realized I'm going to need a little more than 1 cup of water. So this is more like 1 1/4 cup, and I might even need a little bit more. It seems to be coming together okay, but I'm going for the color of the traditional gingerbread. Our family, well, I love to make cutout cookies and decorate them at Christmas, and I really like to make gingerbread men, but our family doesn't really like gingerbread, and so it doesn't get eaten very well. So rather than use all of those really good ingredients, which I like to use real butter and good quality vanilla, and then the cookies don't get eaten. So I'm going to try and make some faux gingerbread and decorate them like really cute gingerbread cookies. I've been seeing people purchasing them, the faux cookies, like at Target and places like that, and just putting them out for display. So that's my plan. I think this has come together pretty well. It's sort of soft, but I have a feeling as I work it in a little bit more, it'll be just right. And if not, I have my flour right here. I'm just going to clean up the edges of my bowl. So I want to try a couple recipes for this faux gingerbread dough. I want to try this one where I just colored it using the cinnamon, and it worked pretty well. So this is just flour, salt, and cinnamon. No, it is not edible. It won't kill you if you eat it, but it certainly would be like a mouthful of salt. So I wouldn't recommend eating this at all. I'm sure it would give you a tummy ache if, you know, at the very least. I'm working it through because it seems to have some lumps. But it's nice and warm and very pliable. Some of you know that I'm a clay artist / potter, and I love working with dough and clay and anything that's moldable like this. This is really nice. I'm just pinching some of the lumps that I see in it, giving it a good work. Alright, so let's, I'll set this one aside. Let's make another batch. This batch I think will be just a small batch. I want to try and color the water with some gel. Oops, where's my camera? There it is. Some gel food color. And so we'll try some like that. Not a lot. I think I'll just half this recipe, because I'm not going to need a whole lot of this dough. So we'll use 1 cup of flour. And we'll use a ½ cup of salt. How much salt is this cup? Well, the measure is not readable on that cup, so let's just guesstimate ½ cup of salt. because the original recipe is 2 cups of flour and 1 cup of salt, so we'll use 1 cup of flour and a half a cup of salt. Some people recommend dissolving the salt in the warm water, but this salt is a really fine granule salt. I think it'll be just fine. And then here I have a half a cup of water, and I'm going to put in, I don't even know how much food color. I'll call that about a teaspoon of the gel food color. Look at my cute little measuring spoon. A friend of mine gave me that a while ago when we were having a day of baking Christmas cookies together. Boy, that's been a while. Probably 10 years ago now. Anyway, so I've got my food color in there. Let's just blend the flour and the salt together. I probably could have sifted it. I'm just kind of mashing it while I stir it. See if I can get any lumps that might be in there out. And then again, we'll just put a little well in the middle and use our food colored water. Ooh, this is dark. I don't know, we'll see. It might be too dark. It's definitely brown. Okay. And I think it'll take the rest easily. It might even be a little bit more, but we'll try it. It's just that much and see how it goes. So far, so good. Okay, I think it's time to get in there with my hands and work it a little better that way. Okay, so it's pretty sticky. I'm going to get a little more flour. It just needed a little more flour, and I can now work that in. So this is a half a batch with the food coloring. And then I'm not going to make another batch on camera, but I'd like to make a batch that sort of has the color of sugar cookies. And then maybe I could make some faux sugar cookies as well. Oh, just that little bit of extra flour really dried it up well. Boy, it's nice and warm. It feels good. Like you're giving yourself a nice warm hand massage. There we go. Gonna just work this a little bit. Hey, that color turned out great. That was about a teaspoon of the brown gel food coloring, and it's almost a better gingery brown, if you can see that, than the first batch. But I'm going to roll it out. Here's my first batch. I don't know if you can tell the difference in the browns or not. The camera just did something weird. Anyway, one's a little more of a golden brown, this half batch. It's a little more of a golden brown. But I'm going to divide this one, but you know what? This one feels better. The first batch I did. It's a little more, as we say in the clay world, a little more plastic feeling. More malleable. Alright, so I've got 3 little patties here, and we're going to roll it out and try cutting it. So I've covered the the dough with some plastic wrap. And I've got parchment paper underneath. I'm just going to try to roll it even. You can use what we call thickness sticks, which are like 2 paint stir sticks, one on each side, and it kind of helps keep it level. But I also have a rolling pin that has like thickness guides on the end of each one. But I actually just like rolling it by just eyeballing it. I'm going to try to get it about 1/4 of an inch thick. You don't want them too thin because then they can kind of curl. But you don't want them too thick because I think it takes a long time for them to get dry all the way through the center. I'm going to try to put a generous amount of pressure in the middle to get it as even as possible. Another way you can know if it's too dry is if it really cracks a lot on the edge. And I've seen some people put a little bit of cooking oil to keep it from cracking. I'm worried though that the cooking oil might make it not dry out as well. Okay, so I've got it rolled pretty well, but now I'm going to flip it over. It's very smooth. And nice and elastic. And then I'm going to cover it and just roll it a little bit more on the other side. And this part's not necessary. You don't have to flip it over. I'm just used to handling actual clay, and that's what I would do. Okay. Now I've also seen people cut their cookies with saran wrap over it, like just like this, so that the edges are rounder. I'm going to try that. Again, give it a nice press in the center. Make sure it's not too thick in the middle. I'll go ahead and cut them out. Did get a little kind of crispy on the outer edge. That's okay. Now I've got a couple of cutters. I've got this guy, and it's one of those plunger ones. And what's really cute is this end can cut the cookies too, so you can have a little mini gingerbread man, and then this is just your real traditional shaped one. I like this one, and I'm going to try it by pressing through the saran wrap, and then I'll do one without the saran wrap, and we'll look at the edges and see the difference. I'm giving it a nice firm jiggle. Now you can push it so that you can get the imprint, but I think on these two I'll just do them without the imprint. And I'll see which one I like better. Seems to come up off the parchment nicely. So this one has the nice squared edges, and this one has more of the rounded softened edges, and I like them both. I've got to decide. I think I like the sharp edges because it reminds me more of a true cutout. So I'm going to sit here and cut out a few more. Let's cut this one and see how well it looks. I don't like that. That's got that dry, flowery look to it. I mean, I guess that's more authentic. So this one, the arms aren't as defined. Still, it's nice. Doesn't bother me. And it's still really workable. So far I really like this dough. So I'm going to cut the rest of these out. my goodness, I got so involved in rolling and cutting and rolling and cutting, and it was really fun. This is a really good dough. It's very pliable, and I was able to ball it up and roll it out several times. I don't know if you can see on this little cutter. I went ahead and did, with my scraps, a bunch of little baby ones. They are so cute. So now there's two processes you can do. Well, there's maybe more than that, but the two that I'm aware of are you can let them dry on the lowest temperature in your oven overnight, and you can also let them air dry, and it should take a couple of days. I'm going to actually opt for the oven because I want to start decorating them. You can use the white puffy paint that you can buy at the Dollar Tree or any craft store, but there was another YouTuber that used caulk, and I actually found this at the Dollar Tree as well. It says low odor. I hope it is, because I don't... Oh no, it actually says odorless right there, so that's good. Anyway, it makes a ton, you guys. I've got 2 whole bundles of dough left that I'm not probably sure I need that many faux gingerbread cookies, but I might make an actual gingerbread house. That would be fun. Anyway, I'm going to go pop these in the oven, and then if you're interested, I'll come back and show you how I decorate them.